Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning into another episode of the Dumpster Diaries Podcast. As always, I'm Justin Allen, and I'm here with my buddy Moses Wartooth, and we got some shit for you. Now, we haven't actually filmed in quite a while, to be quite honest.
It's been like 2 days, 3 days tops.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of shit has happened, the rate, this administration is going. I mean, it's, we're living in some wild times, is all I'm saying, man.
Yeah, all gas, no brakes.
Dude, every single day I turn on the news, I'm like, holy shit. Like, it is a new bombshell. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's insane.
More and more people are pissed off. Yeah. I just think it's funny. I'm like, what are we cutting costs on today, man?
Yeah, dude. For fans of the show, clearly, Moses and I both worked for the federal government for a very long time. So we still have friends that still currently work in the federal government. And I've been talking to some of these guys, and I just call it the Hunger Games. I'm like, so, how are the Hunger Games treating you today? And they're like, fuck, dude. They are all on edge. I mean, these guys are cutting cost. Now, nothing's 100% perfect, and one thing I will give Musk with, the DOGE team, the Department of Government Efficiency, is he acknowledged day one, he said, we're not going to be 100% perfect. We're not going to get it right. We're going to mess up. He's like, but we're going to fix our mistakes that we made.
At least they're attempting to do something different.
But damn, dude, the shit that they're starting to uncover, whoa. How much money can we save off of this?
I don't know. Right now, it feels like the fucking sky's the limit, man. And we're only just on the cusp of figuring out what all kinds of extra shit, man. He's barely even scratched the surface on this.
Dude,
stuff.
I don't even know where to start for this episode to actually even talk about. So you know what? I'll go ahead and just tackle Social Security. All right, that's a big one they brought up. There are millions of people getting money from Social Security that are well over 100 years old.
Yeah.
In some cases, they're 150 years old.
So obviously that's bullshit.
yeah, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? So I like to imagine in my mind, because I watched The Sopranos. I was big into watching mobster movies and stuff. I imagine the American mafia is freaking out right now, because they have a finger in that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, they're clearly cutting some serious costs, and they're finding some serious fraud, waste, and abuse happening with that. Now, I like to be skeptical. I'm like, is this it can't be that bad, right? I would like to think that it can't be that bad. Maybe they're just pulling some data, it's a coding issue or something, someone dropped a zero somewhere they shouldn't have, kind of thing, right? But the reality is that's probably not the fucking case.
Yeah, Elon was saying that he would send basically he would email these organizations and be like, what do you do? And he was like,
yes.
they didn't even bother lying to me. They just don't reply at all. He was like, you could have bullshitted me and maybe made me think that you were actually doing something, but they don't even care enough to do that. So he was like, fuck it, we're done.
At first, that shit triggered me when he sent an email. He went through the Office of Personnel Management and basically sent an email to every single federal employee and was like, just give me 5 things you did last week, right? At first, I was kind of like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? He doesn't work for the federal government. He's an advisor to the president, sure. But this isn't, in his realm of authority to do. Who the fuck does this guy think he is? Especially when he was like, you will be terminated if you don't respond. And then, he sent the email, and then he explained, a week later, he was like, that's to see how many people are real.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. So he started talking about, there's probably a lot of federal employees that don't fucking exist. Mm-hmm. Or they're real people. They just have that job on paper.
They work from home and have 3 other real jobs.
Yeah, and they don't do shit.
Yeah.
And then they go do some other stuff, So that's really what it was. And I was like, well, fuck, man. And then on the flip side, I started thinking, I was like, well, how fucking hard is it to, just respond to an email and say, hey, here's what the fuck I did.
Exactly. You could
week.
lie. You could literally chat GPT, I'm a business administrator. Yeah. What are 5 things that I do in my daily task? And just copy and paste that shit in an email, send it to you, and boom, you kept your job. But if he's sending it to which I think are just ghost email accounts, there's no one on the receiving end of that shit. They're not even seeing it.
Yeah, and if you would have brought this shit up to me a year ago, I'd be like, there's no way there's that much fraud going on in the federal government, right? But when they started pulling the numbers for Social Security, I was like, yeah, we might want to start looking into this shit a little bit more, man. But I don't know, dude. I mean, he's pissing off a lot of people. You know, I'll say that. And that's what kind of has me concerned, you know? It's like both sides of the aisle, right? Democrat, Republican, right? Doesn't matter. Like, if you catch fraud, you should both be happy about that.
Exactly.
So why are the Democrats just being like, fuck this and fuck him and all this other shit? It's like, I don't know, man. And we'll get on to, you know, some other stuff they've been doing here lately, man. But I'm really, like, just disgusted with the Democratic Party in America right now, dude. And I know we've shit on them as a joke a lot in the show and stuff, but, like, genuinely, those guys, yeah, fuck that. Yeah, dude. And it's just not good, man. But I do think what Musk is doing with DOGE is overall good. I will say this, the time frame in which he's doing it, I didn't think this shit was going to happen inside of 60 days. You know, I was like, dude.
I'll say, like, we went from 4 years of just not fucking treading water to 30 days in, and we're just slamming, like, just balls to the wall shit, man.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, what blows my mind, so now they're kind of like, they're coming after, like, federal agencies, like, where they know it's legitimate positions that are actually held by legitimate people, right? So one thing big that I'm going to harp on is they're talking about slashing 80,000 jobs from the VA alone, right? And as of the filming of this, they're talking about completely abolishing the Department of Education. Now, I do know some legitimate arguments with that. But what has me concerned, and I'm not saying there's not any fraud, there's not any bullshit, like these are just like fluffed up positions, you know. I'm not saying that's not the case. But what I am saying is these are legitimate people. These are American citizens, right? They have families, they have mortgages, they need insurance. You insert whatever scenario expenditure they need for their personal lives. That amount of change, that drastically, that quickly, is going to be felt in more ways than one. Like, you're going to feel it in the stock market, you're going to feel it in the housing market. I mean, just you insert. So I just don't know, like, I feel like I'm on, like, this is like this life raft, like in this storm, and like it can go either way, you know, like, and it's like the libertarian side of me is just like, yeah, like, of course, like, absolutely, less government is better government, right? But the reality is this is a lot of people we're talking about.
It is, man. But okay, first, education system. What fucking American thinks our education system is good? Because it's a total fucking shithole, man. Yeah. I'm all for just, like, obviously, if they can't, they've been trying to do this shit for how many fucking years, and it's just steadily, progressively getting fucking worse, man. Yeah. Fucking done. Your time's up. Restart that shit.
Yeah.
If we can either just gut the entire fucking thing, throw it out the window, maybe let the states take care of themselves, like probably should be happening anyway. The federal government can't fucking tell you how a Texas kid should learn and then how a fucking New York kid should learn. There's different shit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and I can agree with that. And, like, the thing is, when it comes to, like, education and stuff, the big part of this is that, you know, the Department of Education, if I remember right, was created in the 1980s, okay? And since then, we have slipped, like,
we're stupid as fuck now.
Yeah, dude. And prior to that, dude, we were, like, top tier. Like,
yeah, we would, like, rival the Asians.
Yeah, so, the Chinamans, right?
Now we're with the goddamn third world countries down there.
Yeah, dude. Like, we're fucking competing with Uganda right now.
Man, like,
you know?
Fucking Taliban can beat us at math, dude. It's bullshit.
It is sad, but it's fucking true, you know?
Yeah.
So I could see an argument with that, you know, but then it's just, I don't know, like, you know, maybe I'm thinking of it more of like a holistic perspective. I'm like, where do these hundreds of thousands of employees go? Where do they go?
I don't know. They should have fucking thought about that before they weren't doing nothing.
I mean, I'm not saying
if
you're
I
wrong,
had a job
Moses.
as a stalker at Walmart and I wasn't stocking the shelves, my ass should be fucking fired.
Sure.
If I'm in charge of education and I ain't educating nobody, my ass should be fucking fired, dude. I'm tired of these high-profile motherfuckers, dude. They're on the same. They're equal.
Yeah,
and I'm tired of them.
So let's say, like, overnight, like, basically in the next coming weeks, we fire 500,000 people. That's 500,000 people that go on unemployment.
All the Democrats, they need to go to fucking Ukraine then. Who cares? Get them out of here.
I'm trying to fuck with you and play devil's advocate here.
I got an answer for everything, dude. Get them the fuck out of here. If you don't want to work, fuck off.
Yeah, but regardless, there's obviously we've been spending more money than we've been making for a long time, and that is a long time coming. Is a course correction that has to happen. And you know, recently, like, you know, they just voted to increase the debt ceiling to $40 trillion. 40 trillion. Like, you're gonna bankrupt this country, man. Like, you can't keep this shit up. Like, it's a Ponzi scheme.
I mean, we're already bankrupt.
So, I don't know, you know. But there are some things they're attacking. I'm like, you know, they're cutting down, like, you know, parks and wildlife and stuff. And that, I kind of like, really? Like, you know, I mean, when you were talking about gutting the system and shit, I mean, dude,
I've been to fucking
rangers.
national parks, man. The dumpsters are fucking overflowing. What the fuck are they doing? You know how many goddamn forest fires there are? California, they ain't fucking I mean, something. They're just sitting on their ass. I don't know, man.
I'm not saying we need to strip mine the fucking parks.
I'm saying, are they firing high up people, or are they firing the fucking Johnny dudes driving a truck protecting people?
Yeah, I get you.
I don't care, man. If they ain't doing something productive, get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I can't agree with that. Like, you know, if your job's not productive, it's not actually making an impact, making a difference.
And to be honest, they can go on welfare. I would be much more happier paying somebody that got fired. I'd pay them on welfare than giving any motherfucking cent to another country.
Damn, you're really pissed off, aren't you?
Yeah, dude, I'm sick of this stupid ass shit, man.
But regardless, like, there is legitimate fraud, waste, and abuse that is being uncovered, man. Even if Elon Musk is only 10% right, that is a huge fucking nugget of money, dude.
Yeah.
Huge money. Huge amount of money, dude. And so, you know, I say kudos to him, man. You know, I think you should keep doing it. I think you should keep digging. I mean, you watch the last interview he did with Joe Rogan, man. Like, it gets pretty intense. Like, he starts talking about corruption, like, within Congress, and there's shit he literally says, like, I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to get killed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that should, because even like, because Rogan was bringing it up, he was talking about these politicians getting rich from insider trading, and Elon Musk, like, his exact words basically, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but basically were, insider trading is a part of it, but it's not the big part.
It's not as big as like what we're led to believe.
Yes. And then he said
it's all them fucking NGOs and all that stuff.
Rogan asked, he was like, so what is it? And he was like, well, I can't talk about this. You know, he was like, because I'm going to get assassinated if I keep fucking bringing this shit up. You know, I was like, what the fuck, dude? You know, like, the party's fucking over, you know? So, I don't know, man. You know, I mean, at a minimum, if nothing actually happened from what Elon Musk discovers, if he could just discover it and put it on paper and publish it for the American people to see, we have a right to
He is doing that.
Yes. And if you go to doge.gov, it's an official government website. I went to that shit,
I
dude.
did too, and it goes line by line of what they're finding, how much money they saved. Like, dude, it's detailed as fuck. And his argument is, anyone that thinks we're lying, here's the fucking proof. Please prove me wrong.
Because I actually go, because you know me, man, I'm always skeptical about, like, everything and shit. So I went in with, like, a skeptical mind. I was like, oh, this is probably some fucking bullshit. Like, whatever, right? And so I went to that website and I started looking into that shit. Nah, dog, like,
dude,
he's fucking line by line. Like, every single thing they're discovering, man. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And, like, USAID, that shit got slashed by 83%.
Dude, the list
they
of
found
fucking
that
waste. Dude,
that's just money.
That's
laundering.
a goddamn scam, man.
I was like, dog, what the fuck? And then you start seeing all these, like, politicians that are involved with that shit and stuff, and I'm like, yo, dude, they're getting kickbacks and their
100%.
families. And then you start finding out, like, all these members of Congress and shit, it'll be like their siblings, their cousins and shit like that. They work on these boards for these NGOs and shit.
They don't actually do
anything. And they get paid like $1 million a year each, and they don't do jack shit, man. They send, what, $50 million worth of fucking condoms to some shit fuck hole country in Africa?
They don't even do that, dude. That's just on the invoice, man. Those poor African kids never see a condom.
Never see a condom. Why do you think they got AIDS?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
much?
Just blasting all over the place, man.
Dude, it's fuck. It's like, it's almost like now, like, I mean, the cat's out the bag now. Like, I mean, it's, dude, I mean, we talked about this on, like, last couple of episodes, man. Like, you know, prior to Trump getting elected, it was like, yo, if you got any fucking skeletons, like, you need to fucking clean house now. Like, we warned, I mean, if you,
I know, and it didn't come to fruition, like, everything happened so much quicker.
Yeah, dude, inside of 60 days, I was like, fuck, dude. I thought this shit was going to be like a 4-year plan, dude.
Yeah, you know, like, they'd be slowly realizing, like, a couple things a week or
like,
something.
Like, hey, over the next year, we're going to cut down 10% of the federal employee. Like, no, they're like, no, fuck it.
They're like, veterans jobs, dude, 80,000, y'all. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude. I was like, God damn, dude. You know? So, but I don't know, man. They're providing a level of transparency we haven't had in a very, very long time in this country.
If ever, man. Like, it feels like...
I mean, that's a valid argument, if ever.
Yeah.
You know?
It kind of feels like we're finally able to see a little bit of what's been going on.
Yeah.
So I hope that curtain continues to be pulled.
Yeah, I just want to know. I want to know. Like I feel like we have a right to know everything that these people
We do. Supposedly power to the fucking people. We're the motherfuckers that put those stupid bastards in charge. So
that's where you get your money from. So fuck right off, But I don't know, dude. And like an interesting twist of events, as of today, actually, of filming this, did you see the cyber attacks that are happening on Elon Musk?
I did.
Yeah, dude. X has been taken down. And he released a statement. He said that it was that they constantly had been attacked, like any normal, platform, constantly get, cyber attacks. But he said this specific one was highly organized and like very funded. So he said either it was a lot of people coming together, he said, or it was probably a country. And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, that should just tell you.
Russia, China, or America.
Fucking who knows, man. It could be. Dude, imagine if it's our own fucking people.
And
all that shit's digital, man. There's a footprint for all that shit. They're going to be able to figure out who the fuck did that, And be like, oh, yeah. Let that fucking come out that our own fucking people were doing that shit. God damn, brother.
I mean, I would be surprised. Well, actually, I don't know. I would bet someone else's life that our government is involved in it.
I would bet somebody else's life. Like, I'm not like that kind of, They probably had a hand in that shit somewhere, So. Yeah, dude. So I don't fucking know, man. I mean, the world is definitely fucking changing right now, at least for America.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be for the better or for the worse. I mean, definitely. I will say this: we have to balance our budget. Okay, we have to bring down the debt. We're gonna bankrupt this country if we don't. So we have to cut costs. And I think it's just better if we just have a backbone and stop being like the world's bitches and paying for everything.
Exactly.
And that's clearly starting to happen. And we can go on to like our next subject too, if you want to go ahead and bounce to that one.
Yeah, it ties in.
Yeah. So, if you've been living under a rock the last few weeks, I don't know if you guys saw the meeting that Zelenskyy had with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance at the White House, but that shit did not go that well, dude. Holy shit.
Couldn't have gone as planned for old Zelenskyy.
Yeah. God damn it. I was like, dude, here's what's crazy. I was at the house. I was just minding my own business, man. Like, I didn't have shit going on. And so I just, I'll leave it on like Fox News and shit, sometimes CNN or whatever. And I had it on the news and it was live. And I was like, oh shit. And dude, I watched that shit live in real time. And that is the only time in my adult life I put my hands on my head watching the news going, holy shit, dude. Because I didn't know how bad it was going to get. Because I started hearing raised voices and shit. It was live tele. I was like, what the fuck? Like, dude, like, what is going on right now? But, yeah, dude, that did not go over fucking well at all, man.
But, I mean, realistically, though, like, what's he going to fucking do? Like, he's in our country. He's asking us for more fucking help. So, the ball is not in his fucking court.
Yeah, dude. And, so, like, I get what Trump was trying to do. He was trying to get the mineral rights deal. We got to get something out of this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's profiteering in war. Like, you're a fucking idiot if you think that.
Nothing is for free.
Yeah, dude. Every fucking war that's ever been fought, there's money behind that shit.
Normally, it's because of money anyway. Like, money and religion, dude. Fuck.
And so I get it. Trump trying to get some money back that we've given him, and I felt like that. It was a fair deal and stuff, man. And, Zelenskyy kind of came in there, and I'm going to try to be, like, a little objective about this and say I see where he was coming from. He made some points, but who knows what they talked about, because they talked like an hour before off camera, so who knows how the fuck that conversation went, right? But Zelensky's making some fucking points or whatever, Donald Trump's making some points or whatever, and it seems like it's going pretty well. And then Zelenskyy essentially just kind of just says like, hey, like, you have to help us fight Russia, because if you don't, eventually you will feel what we feel. Like it'll be a ripple effect in the free world. And
and America took offense to that.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that crazy of a comment. I was like, you know what? Maybe he made a fucking point, you know? Like
Trump was like, you ain't gonna tell me how I feel.
Yeah,
about
dude.
Nothing.
And then, dude, like, he just fucking, just berated him, man. He was like, you ain't got the cards. You're gambling with World War III. And Zelenskyy, you know, who learned English like 3 years ago, fucking is trying to talk.
Yeah, who still peppers in a Russian and Ukrainian in his fucking sentences, too. Like,
and then, like, dude, JD Vance, dude. All right, so
JD was like the backup, dude.
Yeah, he was a hype man.
The
dude.
yes man, yeah.
And so, like, all right, so the interaction between Trump and Zelenskyy, I was totally fine with. I get it, right? Like, beefing, like, both trying to make valid points on their own stance and from their own perspective, sure. But the thing is, with JD Vance, when he came in, I was kind of like, dude, I don't know, man. I didn't like it. I was just kind of like, dude, this guy's being a little bitch right now. Like a petty little bitch. Because he was just like, how many times have you said thank you? Like, and I was like, what are you, a child right now? I mean, I get what you're trying to say, but like, you're honing it into this one meeting and shit. I don't know, man. I just felt like he just kept harping on the thank you aspect. And I was like, yo, we're talking about World War III and 1,000 to 3,000 Ukrainians and Russians dying every single week in this war. And you're just worried about the words thank you.
It could all go away if Zelenskyy just would have said thanks. I mean, it would have fucking happened. Like,
what did they just cut him a check on the way out? He said fucking thank you.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
Like a fucking kid when you give a toy on Christmas tree, like, what? Say thanks. Be like, here you go.
I started thinking too, it's kind of fucked up too to invite this guy, you know, fly him halfway around the world and shit, just to bully his ass and like punk him out on live television. You know?
I mean, I don't know, man. He's been used to dealing with dipshit Biden for 4 years and just steamrolling that.
Well, just getting whatever he wanted.
Yeah,
like, whatever.
So
he
it's
asked
like a little
for,
spoiled kid. Sometimes you gotta snatch that ass in line, dude.
I mean, at some fucking point, you gotta like call it. And like the thing is, I will say this, like in Trump and Vance, like this administration's favor, I will say this. You know, they were talking, they were like, hey, like, basically give up this occupied land and call for a ceasefire. And Zelenskyy was like, I don't want a ceasefire because I can't trust Russia, which I understand, I do get.
Nobody can trust Russia.
Yeah, but, you know.
Nobody can trust Ukraine.
At the same time.
No one can trust America. Dude. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, we just can't trust anyone.
No.
But at the same time, at least entertain the fucking idea of being like, hey, I lost this territory. Can I at least preserve what I have left? You know what I mean? Like, at least maybe do like a DMZ zone or something like that. Like, all right, no more military force.
Yeah, there are other options.
Yeah, but he just didn't want to hear that, you know? So, I don't know, man. But I think the point they made was good. The delivery of it was not so good, you know? But at the same time, I mean, when's the last time you've seen like a world leader of a country, right? Tell another world leader go fuck themselves. Yeah. When's the last time you've seen that?
I liked it. It was
so, you know, there's that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm still, you know, Team Trump. I'm still all for it, man. But could it have gone better? Sure. But I think it was important. What Trump did was important. I think it was appropriate. Now, the shit that Vance was doing, I just felt like he was kind of like a little bitch. Like, honestly. He's like, yeah, you didn't say thank you. Yeah. And then he, like, tapped, like, Trump on the shoulder, like, at the end of it.
Yeah, like, we got this.
Patting him up. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I was like, what are you doing right now, you little bitch? You know? I don't know, man. I'm not a huge fan of J.D. Vance. And if anyone, you know, is actually a fan of the show, they know my personal opinions. I feel that, yes, we should be able to vote for the President of the United States, but we should also be able to vote for the Vice President of the United States. It should be a separate election. You know, I don't like the whole idea of like, oh, I'll pick a president, and if they win, they just get to pick whoever they want. Yeah. You know, because
I mean, we could be like the Democratic Party and just straight up presidential candidate. You don't get to vote for that.
Have no primary, and then wonder why the fuck you didn't win. You know, I really honestly think, I truly believe this. If the Democratic Party actually had a primary, actually put up like, say, you know, half a dozen candidates, whatever, duke it out, get to like the final two or some shit like that, do a primary, whatever. If they would have done a primary, I actually believe they would have won, to be quite honest with you.
It would have depended on who the fuck they put up.
Yeah. If they wouldn't have put up Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, if it would have been somebody else who was articulate and competent,
basically another Obama, because every other person in the Democratic Party that's like high up is just a complete fucking moron, dude.
Yo, dude,
they're a fucking psycho,
retarded, dude. So, and we're about to get on that shit here in a second, man. But So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for Ukraine. I mean,
I don't give as long as we stop giving them money, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the people, but there's plenty of motherfucking Russian people that are fucking dying and suffering for too, and they didn't fucking do nothing wrong either, dude. It's that anytime there's a war, there's casualties on both sides, and it's fucked up for everyone.
Yeah, that was the age-old saying. I think Churchill said it actually. There's no winners in war.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everyone loses, you know. And that's like one thing, you know, based on my own personal experiences, like with Iraq and stuff. Like, that was one thing that I kind of learned was, like, oh, you need to be worried about the warmongering politicians that wear three-piece suits that have never seen a day of this in their life. Because anyone who's actually set foot in a combat zone knows, like, no one wins.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. It takes a lot of time, a lot of resources. There's cost in every way imaginable, and no one comes out 100% in the end. You know, it's just not a good thing. If you can avoid it at all costs. But also, you can't be a bitch, and when it becomes necessary, when it becomes necessary, you got to fucking handle that shit. You know. But so I don't know, man. But things are not looking good for Ukraine right now as far as support from America. But I will say this: Zelenskyy did go back and apologize and all this other shit. And
he did.
Just, you know, so maybe there's another meeting or something.
And to be honest, America isn't the only motherfucker that can help him out. Like, there's all of Europe.
Oh, the next day he met with the fucking the Prime Minister of UK.
So good, they can fucking help those motherfuckers out, dude. I'm tired of wasting money on them.
France too, like talk to all them. Yeah.
Good, then they can fucking talk shit about us about how we don't want to help them out, dude. Fuck them. They can foot the bill. I don't give a shit.
Sounds like more of their fucking problem. I mean,
it is.
It ain't. That's pretty close to where they're at.
They ain't got the ocean between them.
Yeah, dude. They ain't got a buffer like we do. Like, we got lucky on that. Fuck, we really got lucky on that shit. You know, and I don't think our forefathers really thought about that shit. You know what I mean? I mean, they were probably more like, oh, it takes like, you know, like a couple of months to get over here by boat. But like, they didn't think about fucking intercontinental ballistic missiles and shit. You know. So I don't know, man. But one thing I do want to bring up, though, kind of rolling into this, following all of that, Trump did address Congress. And did you watch any of that? Because I watched all of it.
I don't
twice.
think so. Is that whenever they like brought the disabled kid and the Democrats didn't clap and everything, and they were like, yeah, okay.
Whoo, buddy. All right, so I watched this from start to finish in real time.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, go. And our Houston fucking dude got kicked out of it and shit.
Yeah. Al Green. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, dude. We're getting there. So anyway, Trump goes and addresses Congress, right? So he just gives a speech as President of the United States to Congress. And so everybody's there, you know. Sorry, I got to take a drink of water. You name it, they're all there, all of Congress. And he's just kind of like laying out like what the fuck is going on, what he's been doing. He talks a lot about DOGE and all these cuts that they've been doing. Now, one thing I noticed is the camera would pan to the crowd, which is Congress. So it's, you know, the House and the Senate and all that. And none of the Democrats would fucking clap, ever. So, like, these speeches, you know, if you haven't ever watched them, like, it's just a big, like, jerk fest, man. It's just you just bragging for an hour on what you've done, right? And
which Trump can do that for 40 years straight.
Yeah, so that's all he's doing, right? And he's making some shit, you know, some points. He's talking about slashing things from USAID. And I can understand why some of these Democrats would not clap to that.
They're losing money.
Yeah, but there were some things they didn't clap for. They didn't stand for, they didn't show any appreciation for that had me worried. And one of them was he started talking about labeling Mexican drug cartels as terrorist organizations, which is important from a legal perspective and under the Patriot Act. All the shit we did in the Middle East and Iraq and Afghanistan after 9/11, we can now focus that on these Mexican drug cartels, which is important. We should be able to do that. We should have been doing that shit a long fucking time ago.
Yeah, because again, it's right here, not over
it's
there.
It's out of control there, And none of the Democrats clapped. None of them clapped.
They're losing money, man.
And I was like, yeah, dude. And I was like, what the fuck? And then so he started talking about deporting, like, actual violent criminals and labeling certain gangs as terrorist organizations like MS-13 and shit.
Yeah.
None of them clapped. And I was like, wait, hold on. Like, that's like, Are you saying that that's a bad thing?
I mean, it just proves that they don't have America's best interest at heart.
Yes.
They don't give a fuck.
Yes, dude. And that's what fucking got
Like,
me.
if you can be that big of a sore loser that you don't care about anything positive.
Oh, yeah. And that's, like, you know, and I don't get me wrong. I've had Democrats in the past that I've actually really liked and I have voted for in the past, historically. And that right there solidified it for me. I was like, not one single vote will ever be casted for that party in the future. I was like, fuck that, dude. Like, you're a traitor to the country.
Yeah, they're literally picking, I guess, their own. I don't even know what to call it. But they're picking themselves over their country.
They're siding with the enemy.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. And I was like, what the fuck? And they just kept, anytime like Trump would talk about anything, they would just hold signs that'd be like Elon lies, like fuck this administration, basically, yada yada yada. And so anyway, but one guy wanted to fucking toot his little own horn. Old Representative Al Green, a Democrat from fucking Texas, and was like literally yelling at Donald Trump. And they warned him. I watched it live. They warned him. They were like, "Hey, shut the fuck up, or you're gonna be removed."
They should have fined that dude.
I'm surprised they didn't, man.
Because realistic, like, come on, he's supposed to be like the epitome of a responsible human. That's why he's in the position that he was given.
Yeah.
And to act like a little fucking tit bag, dude, like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, dude. And he was just being like a bitch about it, dude.
He was doing that simply, like, he was literally heckling. Like,
yeah,
he was a fucking
that's all
heckler,
it was.
dude.
Yeah,
Like,
and nobody likes that shit.
No.
Nobody likes that, dude. Even people in the crowd don't like that shit,
No.
dude. And so, anyway, he kept running his mouth, blabbing, shouting out some shit, and then eventually fucking Speaker of the House is like called the Sergeant at Arms, basically their police, and was like, fucking remove him from the chambers, dude. And they went and fucking forcibly removed him out of the chambers. And then one thing that was interesting is Congress then voted, like about a week later, to censure him, right? And so essentially all this is we're going to vote, right? And majority wins kind of thing, right? But we're going to vote on writing him a naughty letter. And that's all it is. Just being like, we don't agree with what you did. We think it was bad. And
so he basically got like an LOC.
Yeah, he got like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
But interesting enough, 10 Democrats voted in favor of that. So there is some fucking hope in that goddamn party. But, you know, not much, but some, man. And, but dude, yeah, fuck those guys, man. When I saw that shit, like, Trump is literally outlining, like, enemies of the United States. Of the American people.
Of the United States.
And
not of the Republican Party, not of the Democratic Party, of the fucking United States, man.
And they're just, like, sitting there pissed off, like, because it's, like, it involves immigration and
well,
shit
dude, it
like
was the
that.
same shit whenever on his inauguration, dude. They just sat there the whole fucking time and didn't do shit. Everyone else was clapping, giving out standing ovations and shit, like, whenever the time called for it, dude, they fucking sat there like a bump on a log.
Mark my words, I'm a firm believer in this, dude. I think the next election, the next presidential election that's going to happen in 4 years, I think the Democratic Party is going to be cut in half. And I think eventually in our lifetime, that party will cease to exist. I think it'll splinter off into two different parties. I really do think that will happen.
Come on, this game again? Fucking boring.
Same thing we get.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of this every Saturday night playing.
Come up with something new by now.
Another fucking card game?
This has 650 of the most offensive cards.
The biggest deck you've ever seen?
Oh, yeah.
Now I gotta see what's inside of this. What do we have? Some question cards here, and then we got a boatload of answers.
Yep.
Let's see what some of these answers might be. Buying a PVC pipe, a gerbil, and a string. All right, this sounds like an interesting night right here.
It's definitely the biggest deck I've ever seen.
Okay. Do you enjoy living in the freest country in the world that values nothing more than free speech? I bet you do. But it doesn't take a blind man to notice that you can't really say what the fuck you want anymore. Well, we have a solution to stick it to this once and for all. Look no further than another card game. With 650 of the most offensive, outrageous cards I've personally ever seen, it's sure to make your family gatherings implode like some shit not seen since the days of Nagasaki.
What is that beeping noise?
It's the censorship.
Dude, are we getting censored right now?
God, I'm telling you, buy another card game. It's the only way you can take your country back in one piece. Gee, here we are.
Holy shit. Just back another card game.
Seriously, it's the best you'll ever see, man.
After seeing that shit, I'm like, whoa, fuck y'all. At a minimum, it's going to be all new faces. If it still survives, it's going to be all new faces, man. Like, fuck that, dude. And I was like, yo, dude, at the end of the day, like, what are you just trying to pimp out your own fucking country? That's really what they're trying to fucking do. They're pieces of shit, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys, man. You know? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like
if our own representatives aren't gonna be in support of our country, dude, then get them the fuck out of here, man.
yeah, dude. It's like not fucking hard at all, dude. But I don't fucking know, man. So we'll see what the fucking future holds with that, dude. It's not looking good for the Democrats. You know, and like here's the crazy part is like the Democrats talk about like the Republicans being the problem, right? And like Trump being an issue and stuff like that. Here's an actual real statistic for you. Out of the last 16 years, the Democrats have been in control 100% of all of Congress and the White House for 12 of those 16 years. Tell me why and how the Republican Party is the problem.
Yeah. And look how progressively shitty things have gotten, dude. Like,
we got real progressively shittier like as time went on, dude, you know? So I don't fucking know, man. And while I do go back, you know, throw back to like what's going on with like Elon Musk and DOGE and all that stuff, and while I do think it is, I don't want to say dramatic, it's difficult, right? Because it's dramatic change in a very short amount of time. That's never going to be, change is never easy, right?
yeah.
I do think it's important. And so we're starting to see a lot of bullshit come to light, and it's a lot of bullshit. These bullshit politicians have propped their entire careers on. You know what I mean? Like how many of those motherfuckers have sponsored those bullshit programs in USAID? Clearly it's money laundering.
Yeah.
Clear as fucking day that's what's happening. Right? And now they want to be like, oh no, this is bad. I don't like this change. Why? Because your quality of life and your family's life is threatened. Yeah, you got busted, bitch.
Yeah.
And you just you weaseled your way into being in a position, you get to decide what the laws are. So you put it in a fucking way that it wasn't illegal to do. When any logical goddamn human being on the fucking face of this earth could look at that and be like, you should be in fucking prison right now. Right now. And, you know, and you try to just fucking turn and be like, Orange Man fucking bad, and all his followers are fucking neo-Nazi white supremacists, go fuck yourself. And that's not the fucking case. What it is people are just fucking fed up with the bullshit, man. Because right now, I mean, I just look at, like, shit is so fucking out of whack. Just look at the price. I hate to fucking harp on it, because just look at the price of fucking eggs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, for real. Like, dude, shit is expensive as shit now, dude. It's hard for the average fucking person to live. You know? And we keep getting fucked with. And then we have these people that sit in Congress and just lie to us continuously. And they literally just create these own schemes and they have their own inside jobs and stuff like that. And god damn it, if we fucking put a private citizen in charge, like, by executive fucking authority to just look into it, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
God forbid we fucking just... Let me just see your accounting.
It's like the police...
You fucking kidding me?
It's like the cops love to use on me. If you have nothing to hide, then why don't you just show us?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. So, I think at the end of this, we're all going to have a lot more appreciation for privacy.
Yeah.
Like, you know? So, but...
But, dude, what I don't understand is how a regular citizen that isn't involved in anything is still upset that we're saving money.
I don't
Dude,
get
that shit,
I don't get that.
It makes
It doesn't make... It's an oxymoron. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It makes no sense, man.
It makes no fucking sense.
Like, how can an average fucking Dollar General worker be mad that Elon is discovering fucking trillions of dollars of fraud and abuse? Like, how does that make you mad?
Yeah.
How does it fucking affect you Why are you mad about
Yeah,
it?
like every paycheck, like say you earned $100, right, and then you're only taking home like 80, right? That $20, right? Where the fuck do you think that money's going?
To those fake ass Social Security people.
Yeah, dude. And then like here's
But
the
then
crazy
to be mad
fucking-
about it, like when it gets found out, I don't get it, dude.
I don't.
That's the biggest case of blame the messenger ever, dude. Like what the fuck, dude?
It's fucking wild, man. Like really think about it. It's really fucking wild. And then it's like if you just stop and you just question yourself logically as a human being, you would realize that there is a fallacy in your fucking logic for that. You really would understand that. And they just don't do that.
They don't.
And they're fucking insane, dude.
Like,
insane.
Honestly, if the Biden administration had been fighting fraud, waste, and abuse, I would be like, fuck yeah, fire all them motherfuckers. Just like I'm saying right now, dude. I don't care who's in charge. I want them fired. Like,
sure.
If you're not doing your goddamn job, get out of here. I don't care who you support or what your fucking side's on. Yeah. That's bullshit.
I just worry that they're going to get too gun-ho and they're going to start attacking positions that actually matter. You know what I mean? Like, and be like, what are we doing here? Like, where it starts, like, really, like, hurting things that actually do matter. But that's the only thing that I'm worried about.
I mean, I'm on the idea of we'll worry about that when we get there. Because at this point, dude, I can't really think of a position that we could lose that we would just be like, the streets are fucking up in flames.
I don't know, man. The federal government employs 1 out of 11 American workers, man. I mean, that's a big beast, man.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're fucking doing anything.
I mean, there's no way they're all not doing anything. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. You know?
I don't know, man. In 5 years, AI can be taking like half of their fucking jobs anyway.
That is fucking true, man. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Especially that Grok 3 coming out that Elon Musk is behind. Holy fuck. You seen the fucking beta of that shit?
Dude, I was watching,
whoa, dude, it is
they
wild.
have, like, the fucking new AI robot.
It'll talk shit to you.
Dude, we're like 3 years away from full-on, like,
automation.
Sex robots.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And then, dude, and then whenever a man doesn't have to leave his house and has, like... having sex and like getting laid is the fucking like that's the pinnacle. Like most men will go and most men live like
that's why we buy cars, houses, have jobs,
try
like,
to do things.
It's all about pussy.
So if we don't have that motivation anymore, what the fuck are we gonna do?
Society comes to a fucking screeching halt, dude.
No more inventions like
You're probably not far off, dude, from the truth, dude. Like honestly, fuck, dude.
It's gonna be weird. Like we're gonna have to become dependent on AI after that because then we're not gonna want to do anything.
I tell you what, let me get a little more optimistic with it. Can I get optimistic
Yes.
with this? Okay, cool. What I do like is like if we can go into full on automation, especially with robotics and stuff, right? Like basically androids, right? I'm not saying they have to look like us, right?
I don't see a need
robotics,
for that
you know,
either.
like arms, legs, whatever can move, all stuff. Deep space exploration. We don't have to send humans. We can just send them. That's fucking cool. I do like that idea, man. Yeah. And also, too, I don't know if you fucking saw this shit, dude. Musk is talking about next year they're going to send the first craft to Mars.
Nice.
Starship, yeah. Not going to have any humans on it, but it's going to start having, like, the foundation to build, like, a colony and shit.
Dude, that's a great idea. Yeah, just
wild.
fill that shit up with the AI motherfuckers and have them start colonizing. They don't need oxygen. It doesn't matter
Once
for them.
they figure all that shit out,
then humans can
send
move on there. Yeah.
I mean, that might be where we're going, dude.
That'd be fine with me. And then apparently, like, our quantum computing capabilities are like, there's just been a couple new breakthroughs with that.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't even heard about that shit.
So, like, basically, the like, all that shit is been like, I don't know, kind of like basically just science fiction shit. But now it's coming. Like we're on the cusp of some new breakthroughs on that as well.
Yeah,
so
I've been like
that's gonna fucking help everything.
I've read like
too.
some theories about it in school and stuff. Like it's actually insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. Like
it's pretty much impossible for the human mind to process. Like,
this is one thing that I heard. Like this is how it was put to me. Like I had a chemistry professor. No, it was a physics professor talking about it. He said all of the data that has ever existed in the ether, like online, right? Everything, every single video, every single text message, every single mathematical problem you could imagine, all of it. He said, one super quantum computer could solve all of that and process all of that in less than a minute.
mm-hmm.
One. And I was like, fuck, dude. It's like the next like atomic bomb. Like it's the next, like, I mean, really like that significant, like it's going to change whoever gets it first, you know? So, because I know the Chinese are working on it. Like,
and just think
it's
about
like us
like,
and the Chinese really are like the only two.
And whenever that gets put into like crypto mining, because that isn't,
It's game over.
they're just gonna get it. Like there's no.
Yeah, there's a whole theory about like Bitcoin eventually is just going to implode. It's going to become worth zero.
Well, I could see that with quantum computers because there'll be no problem solving. It'll just solve it and fucking get it immediately. There won't be like taking years to mine coins and shit. It'll just happen.
Yeah, dude. Like, I remember reading about that shit. I was like, fuck, man. Maybe I shouldn't have invested in fucking Bitcoin because I had a little bit, like, at the time, you know, like fucking 0.0001 coin or whatever, you know? But yeah, dude, it's wild, man. That's like the next, like, almost like space race kind of thing.
It is, yeah.
You know?
That tied in with AI, which they go hand in hand. Eventually, there'll be AI beings with quantum computing inside, like
you realize that we're talking about like in our lifetime, every problem that the human race is faced with, we can solve. Every single problem.
That's fucking exciting.
Every single problem. Every medical issue, every war, every economic, like you name it, like inventing, like it's fucking like it's almost like hitting the point, like in science fiction they call it the point of singularity. Like as technology is being created, like it's improving simultaneously, right? Like you're almost at that point, like really.
And then it'll get to a point where basically nothing matters anymore.
Yeah.
Because it'll be, and then we'll have to like. It'll be an advancement over the first world problem. We'll have to make up random shit to be mad about like we have been doing.
You know, I think it's actually going to come full circle for like humans.
As far as like back to the Stone Age? Or what do you
No, I think technology is going to get really advanced, but I think a lot of laws are going to be put in place to protect humans and like living like a normal human life. I think a lot of that's going to be put into place. Like there's going to be areas where like technology is not allowed. Like they put restrictions on it, like certain like public areas and stuff like that. Like I think there'll be like an emphasis on like travel and leisure and stuff, where it'd be like, hey, you can go back to living like it's the year 2000 again.
1999.
Yeah, you know, yeah. I think there'll be a huge emphasis on that type of stuff, man.
I could see that. Yeah, like going and wanting to be like back to your roots type shit.
Yeah. But I don't know. But god damn it, we all know Elon Musk is gonna be on the fucking forefront of that shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm so glad that dude's an American. Fuck, dude. Imagine that guy was like Chinese or some shit.
Yeah.
Fuck me running, dude. You know that motherfucker has a PhD?
I didn't.
Yeah, he has a PhD in physics. I didn't know it. I watched like a documentary.
Like he legitimately went to school
like,
and earned it.
Legitimately earned it. Yeah, like actually has. I was like, what the fuck? And then that's when he started fucking shooting off rockets and shit. I was like, god damn it! Like the motherfucker literally is a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck, he's actually a genius. I just thought he got lucky in some like fucking tech shit, like made a bunch of money and then just started fucking around with shit, you know? But no, yeah, it turns out he's actually like a legitimate genius and shit. And I was like, oh fuck, okay, cool, dude. What if it comes down to like Elon Musk is like the one person that literally saves the entire country?
Could be, dude. As a reward, we'll fucking send him on a ship to Mars and be like. Speaking of Elon, okay, so that
the Jetsons.
Yeah, dude, like that fucking noise, man.
Isn't that what their ship made?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yes.
the little puttering thing. Like, dude, I was watching I got trapped in some fucking rabbit hole thing, and they were talking about how autism could be the next step of human evolution.
No shit.
And it's pretty crazy, but if you really think about it, because you know how like Elon autistic, we don't know, but like a lot of like smart, a lot of ingenious people are autistic, but it's
like an idiot savant.
Exactly,
like Rain
exactly. Man. Yes, they're able to focus on certain things. Like this fucking threw me off, but someone created Minecraft inside of Minecraft.
Ooh.
So like without
it's like some Inception
without
shit.
getting like super fucking nerd bullshit. Like anyways, Minecraft you can make there's people.
We got 12 more minutes to fill. Like go ahead.
Right, so you can like smart motherfuckers can make programs inside of Minecraft that run off inside of the game. So someone made a Bitcoin miner inside of Minecraft. It's like that's a mind fuck, dude.
It
really is. It's very like hard to like, is this real? Is it not? I don't know. But anyway, they legitimately did it. But people have made programs inside of it. So and then someone was like, this motherfucker is autistic as shit. They probably are, but it's
probably
like,
Elon Musk doing that shit, dude. He just fucking.
he's got one screen on Minecraft.
You know
the
that
other on
motherfucker's like in the
other
top
game.
30 players in Diablo
Yeah, yeah.
in the world. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? I saw that shit the other day. I was like, God damn it. But dude, it also brings in like ethical, like, and legal questions and stuff too. It's like when you start making these things, like, how do you create laws that govern that? Especially if, like, say, you know, Bitcoin became a thing in Minecraft, but then people putting real money in it. It's like, how do you govern? Like, when does it become real and not real? You know, how do you govern this?
Well,
thing?
people already buy. People already spend real world money for video game shit inside of the game. Like that's been going on. But as far as
I'm
like,
saying, like, how if you just keep going deeper and deeper into,
technically,
ether, like,
technically, people could be paid with in-game currency. Like that's it. Which so, and there's another fucking thing. There's a game that people play in the Philippines. It's extremely fucking popular. But they play that video game and they trade their currency in the game for real world cash in the Philippines, and that's how they live. They literally wake up and play this goddamn game all day.
Well, I remember
and make
back
money
in the
to play
day,
the fucking game.
when I was a kid, I played World of Warcraft, and like people would spend real money to get like gold, like the currency in that game and stuff, and they would hire people to mine gold and shit for them and stuff. So, I mean, there's definitely something there, but I mean, like with technology advancing and stuff, getting more complex and shit, especially when you bring in AI, and then I don't know, man, you start to blur the line between like being human and
being a goddamn android.
You know, it's like where, you know, I mean, I don't know. I think laws are going to get very interesting in the future.
And then just think about whenever, like, AI, like, prosthetics, like, basically implants and shit. I know we've already done that a little bit, but, like, eventually, like, that's only going to increase.
Now, I do like, one thing I will say this about AI, the one thing that I'm truly excited about, two things. Deep space exploration. That
sex robots,
and then medical advancements.
Absolutely.
Like where, like, dude, I watched this shit and it was they called him a futurist. He's actually like a physicist, but anyway, his title is a futurist. Like he just talks about like here's kind of where the future's going, and he was talking about we're about 10 years away from basically AI being able to take your blood, scan you, do all this shit, right? And then be like, here's a pill you take. Here's the exact vitamins
to keep you healthy
you need. Yeah. And here's what you're sick with. Here's how we're going to treat. Not this just, here's some generic medication that seems to work for this. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Here's your SSRI.
No, it's going to be, here's exactly what you need to work for your body and your brain. And that's a fucking wild world to live in.
Dude, that's getting, okay, so then there's no point, the healthcare industry is fucking done. Big Pharma, they're fucking done.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are going to be trying to pass laws on that shit.
Pfizer's going to be like,
fuck! No, wait, AI's bad, AI bad. Like,
dude, you got to get your 17th COVID booster, dude.
We promise this time, this is the last one and it's going to work.
It's the last one, dude. The last one. People still getting those fucking things, dude.
God damn, dude.
I met a dude the other day. He's like, yeah, I just got a booster. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yo,
I'll be like, you're mad at Elon for saving money, aren't you?
Isn't it crazy how you can just kind of assume these things, you know, and you're usually right when you do it? Fuck, all right, cool. But you're the fucking lunatic, right?
Yeah. But yeah, man, the advancements in medicine is going to be fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually really excited about it. I mean, because we're looking at, like, the ability, especially when you talk about, like nanotechnology, like microscopic robots combined with AI. And it's like, it doesn't matter what kind of cancer you have. It's just like, they just put that in your body and it just attacks that. And
dude, and again, then that's going to cause the next problem, which is going to be no one's going to die. So the world population, which I guess that's kind of leveling itself out because the amount of people that are having kids are less and less.
Yeah, we do have a problem with that. I actually thought that was bullshit until I started reading about it. Western society is having a problem with that. Mm-hmm. The rest of the world is not having a problem.
Yeah, they're still cranking them out like kittens, but...
Yeah, like in America, like, yeah, we have like it's invert. It's starting at inverse. Like, and there's going to be like a real problem.
It's been that way in Japan for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I read a crazy statistic the other day about Japan. It said in Japan they sell more diapers for adults than they do children.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck. All right.
So then again, that's going to also, whenever everyone's old, there's no young people to work and support, like, pay into this shit.
Any kind of social programs and shit that you have. Yeah. And that's another thing too that, man, you know, you bring up like the AI stuff, you know, I know we've been harping on it. This all really stems from like talking about Elon Musk, but you bring up like the AI stuff and like robotics and everything being integrated with it. It's like, how do you handle that from like an economic standpoint? Like, is it fair for somebody who's worth $100 billion to be like, okay, I'm going to create this entire factory that's completely ran on robotics. I only hire 3 people, but I fucking pump out $100 million worth of products a year. And all I got to do is just pay my sales tax and call it good. Like, because you don't have to pay any kind of employee tax or anything like that. Like, I mean, so how do you do that? How do you handle that? Like, should there be like some sort of like VAT tax on any kind of automation? But if you do that, then that's going to hinder the advancement of any of that shit.
Yeah.
So
I think at some point we will just have to get universal income. I mean, that seems to be like...
To some degree, it inevitably, in a long enough timeline, it will have to happen. I'm not talking about like everybody's just rolling around rich as fuck.
No.
I'm talking like...
Everyone has an AI fucking companion.
Yeah.
Everyone has universal income. Like,
you got $1,000, $15 a month that comes in because we have robots that work for us as society.
And that's you as a human, like, we're gonna pretty much get to do what we want to because we have an assistant to do what we don't want to do.
That is kind of a dope world to live in.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's like, you can just go fishing all day if you want. Mm-hmm. Who gives a fuck? My robot goes to work for me.
And if you want,
Or what if it gets to the point where the more robots you have, the more money you can make?
That totally seems logical.
You just go send your androids to go to work for you? And you can invest in like more and more and more?
I mean, it's like real estate.
The
more property you own, the more money you're making.
Fuck. I mean, these are like valid questions like to ask.
But eventually, so if like, I guess that totally makes sense because at first, like, obviously AI robots, as they advance, they're going to be expensive starting off. And only the rich are only, like, a certain amount of people are going to be able to afford them and the rest of us can't. And then eventually that price to entry, the barrier to entry is going to get lower and lower. Until eventually it'll be like a fucking car and everybody has one.
Yeah.
So, and like the people that get the fucking robots, dude, they're going to be making money.
Shit.
God, dude, if I had 50 robots.
I'm just thinking about it like, God damn. You know, like, God, what can I do? I could fuck one. I could kill one. Like, you know,
the other one could be building a fucking monument or something.
Yeah, like a tower to me. Yeah, you know? They worship me. You know, I am God, basically. Yeah.
Then hopefully by that point, people are already moving to Mars because we're going to be overpopulated. Like, there's going to be too much shit going on.
I mean, it is kind of cool. I mean, I think at that point, like, I think if, like, robotics become so integrated in society like that, there's going to be very, very, very big restrictions on population.
Yeah.
Like, you might only be able to have, like, 2 kids per household, like, just to reproduce for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, They ain't just gonna be like, oh, just sit at home on your fat asses and have 19 fucking kids and counting, you know. Everyone gonna do that shit? Nah, they ain't gonna do that shit, man. There's gonna be some limitations to this shit. But I don't know. But I, like, you know, it's kind of crazy. Like, you know, one of my favorite like series that I watched, like TV wise, like movies wise, was The Matrix growing up, and it's kind of wild to think about. Like, we might actually see some weird shit like that later in our life. I mean, just fast forward 20 years, 30 years. Even 40 years. Fuck it, dude. We're not that old. You know what I mean? And it's just like, God damn, dude. And it's kind of cool because we're like the last generation to know what it was like before then. Mm-hmm. Before the internet even became mainstream. You know what I mean? Like, we can just be like, hey, this is what the world was like before cell phones. You know, like, I remember having to, like, fucking dial up friends and shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool. Like, I'll be at your house this time or whatever, you know? And if they weren't there, you were just fucked. Like, you just had to figure it out, you know? Yeah. So.
Print off the directions with MapQuest and shit.
Dude, I remember doing that.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And it's, like, wild. I don't know. Times are changing. And they're, like, and it's getting exponentially faster, too, you know? And so, I don't know, to bring it back all full circle, you know, kind of maybe what Musk is doing, like, you know, just trimming the fat out of the federal government. I mean, all of that is going to be necessary for the advancement of America in general, but just Western society as a whole, too. Like, it's just going to be necessary. Like, we're going to have to, like, at some point, like, everything has to come to light, and we have to cut the bullshit out and be like, what is actually important? And it's like, okay, yeah, we should probably start looking at colonizing the solar system. That's probably a good idea. because looks like we're gonna run out here.
Yeah,
at some point,
the lights are dimming on this place. We got
and then I don't know, like fucking spend our money wisely, do shit that actually fucking matters, But that's the thing too, is like that's one thing. That is one problem that I do have with DOGE, is like I get the cutting and like just auditing the government, totally on board with that, right? But my thing is like, what are you gonna do with this savings? There's no real plan. Like I would kind of like, I'm like, Elon is like a genius. Like he's a very forward-thinking individual. Obviously, he's the richest human being that we can prove on paper on the face of this planet. And you don't get that by being stupid. Like, so I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Say they saved fucking $500 billion. Like, I'd be like, hey, Elon, like, what do you think we should do with this? I don't know. Maybe there's some other programs that are underfunded that could actually use that money. Or maybe we just make up some fucking new shit and be like, fuck it, here's what we're going to figure out today,
Or, I mean, if we're saving that money, we're not spending that money. So it's at least not going towards our fucking deficit.
Debt, yeah.
So.
But did you see the shit where he was talking about, like, giving a fucking, basically, he was going to take 80% and was basically just going to save it, right? But he was going to take 20% and he was going to give it back to the American people.
I did see that.
And it came out to being about $5,000 each.
That's fucking insane.
Isn't that insane?
Do you know how many people do not have even $1,000 in their checking account?
Like 52% of Americans do not have access to at least $500 for an emergency fund.
That is
52%.
Totally. I mean, I believe that 100%.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Isn't it wild? Over half of Americans don't have access to $500.
So to give but we're giving all that goddamn money to every other motherfucking country, dude. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, but do you know? All right, so
it's gonna be a 2-hour episode. Just start going off the raft.
But whenever, if everyone was to get $5,000, dude,
you do a lot of good. And talk about stimulating the American economy. That shit ain't going fucking outwards. I mean, yeah, some motherfuckers might get on TV and shit.
I mean, yeah, I'll buy a couple things on TV.
Yeah, but like, I mean, for the most part, most motherfuckers are gonna spend that shit. Like, they're gonna pay their local bills. They're gonna fucking
hopefully
go out to eat locally. They're gonna fucking or even
will.
Just save it, put it in American banks, like all this shit.
That ain't the American way.
They're
gonna go out to eat. They're gonna buy a new car.
We're going to fucking Chili's.
They're gonna finance some rims.
Get some fucking rims. I'm gonna use this as a down payment on like a fucking 2025 F-150.
Yeah. You're like, I only go $87,000 more on
$80,000 truck.
Dude, do you know what? That is exactly what would happen though. Do you know how much the goddamn auto industry would boom if everyone got $5,000?
Yeah, dude, it's like everyone's hood rich for like
yes.
like overnight. Everyone's hood rich. Yeah. You ever seen what happens to people in the hood when they get money? Yeah, it goes in. It's bonkers as shit. I can say that. I've lived in really ghetto places. Like, yeah, I've seen this with my own eyes. Yeah, when they get money, like tax season, like it's fucking wild as shit. Every drug dealer has a shit ton of supply. That's all I'm saying, dude. Because they go and re-up for more, dude. Yeah, dude. It's a real thing. It's a real fucking thing, dude. Everyone's buying guns and clothes and shit. Yeah,
everyone's living it up, man.
America,
to be fair, you got a free $5,000.
Yeah, that's Lady Liberty, baby.
That doesn't come often, dude. You gotta take advantage of that moment.
Dude, imagine if they actually gave that money to people. Dog, I'm telling you, Republicans would win every fucking time, and everybody would be like slash
Dude,
talking about the government. And
that's
shit.
why so many people. That's why so many black people voted for Trump.
Oh.
All the rappers, they were like, "Yo, Trump gave us the $1,200 back." At the last time, dude, they from that cemented their faith in that man, dude.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is give the people money. That's all I want.
Just buy them votes.
If somebody would have gave me $5,000, I'd vote for him too. I don't give a fuck.
But you know what? If it was a Democrat, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. I guess
maybe he's not a bad guy after all. We'll see what this 4 years has though.
Give me another $5,000.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about whatever war you want to finance. Fuck it, dude. I'm good. It's really what it is.
It really that's the sad reality, man. Whatever.
Holy shit, man. Dude, well, I think that's our hour, man. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right, cool,
good.
man. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into another episode of the Dumpster Diaries Podcast. And for all of you that listen that happen to be federal employees, good luck in the next round of Hunger Games. Our thoughts and prayers are with you.
Hang on to them jobs.
Thanks, guys.